Spartans were the NAC regular season champs with a record of 23-1. They went 3-2 in the NAC tournament. Mike McKenzie, as we mentioned, the head coach. And this is the Spartans are making their 15th NCAA Division III softball championship appearance in the program's history, 5th under McKenzie's leadership. AU is 19-28 at NCAA championships. His last appearance coming in 2010 at the Whitewater Regional, where they went 3-2 and lost in the regional final. All right, we move to the top of the second in Angola. No score. Mount Union coming to the plate, and Mayo leads it off. Alex Mayo, the first baseman. First pitch is a ball. Vanessa Hartzell has the sign from catcher Tristan Wilcox. The next pitch is out of play, fouled back, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count on Mayo. Now Hartzell deals. Outside, 2-1 the count. Mayo, a senior from Greenville, Ohio. Waits to the plate. 2-1 on its way. Line down the left field line and foul. Mayo making a bid for extra bases. Just pulled it foul. She's lined that one, and the Purple Raiders are hoping she can straighten that one out. Mayo batted .306 this year, had a slugging percentage of .449. Here's the pitch. Just missed outside. That runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. She had a homer, 16 RBIs in this 2013 season. And we got a payoff pitch coming to the leadoff hitter. And a chop foul. Third base side will do it all over again. Mayo played in 35 games this year, started all of them for Mount Union. And the payoff pitch coming. And it's ball 4. Mayo gets a leadoff walk. So the Purple Raiders in business here in the top of the second. They have their leadoff batter on board. Mayo working Hartzell for a leadoff walk. And now Andy Van Sickle will bat. A .301 hitter this year with 1 homer, 11 RBIs. First pitch of ball. Mayo on first, nobody out, no score, top of the second. And the Aurora Spartans are expecting a sacrifice attempt here. Let's see if Van Sickle can move that runner. And it's a nice bunt back to the pitcher. 1 play, first base, out there. The sacrifice is successful. Mayo moves to second. Van Sickle is out 1-3 on the sacrifice, so she did her job. 1 out, runner on second. Shelby Carmichael bats now. .224 hitter, 1 homer, 14 RBIs. Now, Mount Union has 2 chances to take the lead here in the second. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Alex Mayo, the runner on second. One strike on the hitter. Here it comes. That's a ball, 1 ball, and 1 strike. No score. We're in the top of the second inning. Here's the 1-1. Hot shot of the middle. It's going to get through for a base hit. Mayo is coming home here. No, she's held up at third as the center fielder, Mia Henderson, got that ball back into the infield quickly. And they put the stoplight up at third base. Mayo stays there. She might have been out from here to you if she had tried for the plate. Carmichael with a single. That's the second hit for the Purple Raiders. Now first and third for Mount Union, one out, and Rachel Jessel bets. A big chance here for the Purple Raiders, and Jessel is hit by the pitch. That's going to load them up. The bases are loaded with Purple Raiders and one out. Marissa Earl will bat now. 285 hitter, 15 RBIs this year. And time is called. We're going to get a conference in the circle. Mike McKenzie is going to get his infield in, and they'll have a little chat here. So a huge, huge chance for Mount Union as the sun pops through the clouds once again here in Angola. No score, top of the second. A walk, a sacrifice, a single, and a hit batter. And the bases are loaded with Purple Raiders. One out here in the top of the second. Earl, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. Trying to come through with a hit and give her team the lead. Senior from Massillon, Ohio, went to Washington High School. And the first pitch. It's popped up and caught by the shortstop for the out. Spencer squeezes it for out number 2, and that is a huge out there. Earl going after the first pitch, pops out the short. Now Kristen Gromes will bat. 426 hitter, 5 homers, 26 RBIs. 2 outs, bases still loaded for Mount Union. Hartzell trying to get out of this jam. Ball 1. She's got no place to put him. Or her, I should say. Gromes fly to center her first time up. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mia Henderson, the center fielder, is shading towards left center against the left-hand batter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Hartzell trying to get out of this sticky situation in the top of the second. No score. And it's ball 2, 2-1. A walk, a sacrifice, a single, hit batter. Setting up the Purple Raiders with bases loaded and 1 out. Then Earl popped out the short on the first pitch. Now it's 2-1 to Gromes. Ooh, she may have helped her out there. That looked to be a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Hartzell is 1 strike away from getting out of this second inning jam. 2-2 the count. Big pitch here. Here it comes. Strike 3. What a job by Hartzell. Vanessa Hartzell for Aurora getting out of a bases loaded jam here in the top of the second. With a pop out and a strikeout. Mount Union threatens, but they do not score. No runs in the inning. 1 hit and 3 runners left. We move to the bottom half of the second in Angola, Indiana, in this NCAA Division III Women's Softball Regional First Round Contest. It's the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, nothing, and the Aurora Spartans, nothing. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Aurora here in the bottom half of the second. Stone, Klauser, and Witzenfeld. Let me get back to Aurora's page here, my media notes. I hope I pronounced that young lady's name correctly here. Mount Union turned away there in the top of the second. They loaded the bases with 1 out and could not score. Weitzenfeld, I beg your pardon. Alana Weitzenfeld will be batting third of this inning. Once again, in case you're just logging on, big upset in the opening game of this tournament as Anderson knocked off Trine 5-1. They had a big crowd here for the opening game. Nice crowd on hand still at Trine University. Bottom half of the second now. Leadoff batter is Lily Stone, and Lily takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Stone is a junior from Moline, Illinois. Makinich throws for Mount Union. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'll give you some stats here on Makinich here if I can get back to Mount Union's page. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-hander brings it. Foul back to the screen. 1-2 the count now. Now we're almost there. Here we go. Makinich 16-8 this year with an ERA of 1.95. That's outside, 2-2. She struck out 166 batters, walked 29, and 158 innings of work. Now the 2-2. High fly ball, short left field. Left fielder wants it and grabs it for out number 1. And squeezing it for the out was Marissa Earl. 1 up, 1 down for the Spartans in the bottom half of the second. Sarah Clauser bats now. So again, Makinich worked 158 innings this year and struck out 166 batters. You remember what Kurt Gowdy used to say about having stuff on the Saturday game of the week? If you average more than a strikeout per inning, you've got stuff. And Makinich has stuff. And she throws the first one in for a strike. And she has really looked pretty good here in this opening inning plus. Looks to be in control. Here's a swing and a drive out the left field. Earl again makes the catch. So Marissa Earl getting a workout in left field. Has both putouts here in the bottom half of the second. 2 outs and nobody on now for Aurora. No score in this game. Here's a little number to first base, and the batter is out, and that's the inning. As Weizenfeld went after the first pitch, hit a little number down the first base line that was fielded by Stone, and she made the play unassisted. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Spartans in the bottom half of the second. After 2 innings in Angola, it's Mount Union 0, Aurora 0. Be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Purple Raiders in the top of the third. Morenz, Papp, and Seidlak. Second game of this regional tournament. Weatherman says some precipitation will be moving in perhaps late this afternoon into the nighttime hours. And while we're enjoying temperatures near 80 degrees right now, the weatherman says it's going to cool off tomorrow into the 60s and perhaps low 50s on Sunday, Mother's Day. So a bit of a change coming in the weather, but then again, it's Indiana and it's springtime, something you got to deal with. Jess Mraz is going to lead things off for the Purple Raiders here in the top of the third. She is a freshman from Westlake, Ohio. Brittany Papp will follow her. She's a junior from Uniontown, Ohio, and then it'll be Lee Sidlak. I think I mispronounced her name. I'm sorry. Sidlak will bat third this inning, and she is a sophomore from Westerville. All right, here we go. Top of the third. Morantz leads it off. No score in this game. And the first pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. Vanessa Hartzell got out of a big jam last inning. Purple Raiders loaded the bases with 1 out but could not score as Hartzell got a pop out and a strikeout to get out of that difficulty. There's a ball. 2-0 on Morantz, who singled her first time up and was left stranded at second. Mount Union has stranded 4 runners in the first 2 innings, including 3 in scoring position. There's a strike as it caught the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Top of the third inning, no score here in Angola, Indiana. The 2-1. And she offered, that's a strike. 2-2 the count. I got to realize doing television, I don't have to be as descriptive as if I'm on the radio. So you can see it on your computer there at home. There's strike 3 as Morantz goes down Swinging, second straight strikeout for Hartzell. One up and one down. Hartzell now with 3 strikeouts in this game. Brittany Papp will bat. Brittany steps in. Here's the pitch. And first offering is fouled out of play in the third base side. Strike one. Papp grounded to the pitcher her first time up. One out, nobody on. Here in the top of the third, no score between Mount Union and Aurora. That's outside for a ball, one strike. The Purple Raiders have had the better scoring opportunities in the early going, but have not been able to cash in. Runner on second in the first inning with 2 outs, couldn't score. Bases loaded last inning with 1 out, couldn't score. That's in for a strike. Can't quite see the scoreboard from where we're standing. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thank you, Mr. Umpire. That's low. 3-2. Waiting on deck is Sidlak. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the third, no score. Payoff pitch is coming. Here's a fly ball, pop up to shortstop, and out is Papp for out number 2. As Spencer made the relatively easy play at short for the second out. Lee Sidlak bats now with 2 out and nobody on base. She struck out her first time up swinging. Hartzell has set down the last 4 in a row. Well, so much for that, a hitter. And another hit batter for Mount Union. That is, how many now? That's the second one. All right. I thought there was more than that. So the second hit batter of the game for the Purple Raiders. They have a runner on first with 2 outs. Alex Mayo bats now. She walked her first time up. Was stranded at third last inning. Runner on first, 2 outs. Sidlak edges off the bag and a foul ball out of play behind the Mount Union dugout on the first base side. 1 strike on Mayo. 2 outs and a runner on first base. There's a ball, 1 strike. Looked like Mayo was going to score on a base at the center, but the center fielder, Mia Henderson, made a nice play getting the ball back into the infield. So you might say the Purple Raiders had to hold the Mayo at third. Here, I'm sorry. Ground ball to third. Throw across in time. As Clauser, the third baseman, made the play there for the final out. And that's all for Mount Union in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, and 1 runner left. We move to the bottom half of the third inning here in Angola, and it's still the Mount Union Purple Raiders nothing, the Aurora Spartans nothing. Aurora will be setting up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the bottom half of the third. Hubner, Randall, and Lynch due up. Once again, the winner of this game will play at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and they will be facing Anderson in the 2 o'clock game. The loser will play the host Trine Thunder in the first game tomorrow morning at 10. Again, those are Eastern times. Sunshine has come back out again here in Angola. Aurora Spartans coming to the plate here in the bottom half of the third. They're led by NAC Position Player of the Year, senior catcher Tristan Wilcox, senior all-conference shortstop Brooke Spencer, senior all-conference outfielder Mia Henderson, senior designated player Stephanie Lynch, sophomore all-conference pitcher Natalie Zanella, and freshman all-conference player Vanessa Hartzell. First pitch to Lauren Hubner is a ball, 1-0 the count. Makinich pitching for Mount Union. Rachel is not allowed a hit yet. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count on Hubner. Makinich deals. And it's a ball, 2-1 they say. Check swing there. Hubner, a freshman from Countryside, Illinois, went to Lyons High School. And there's a foul out of play on the third base side. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom half of the third, no score. Makinich has her sign. Here comes the 2-2. And a swing and a drive out the right center field. It's going to be caught by the right fielder. Running in towards the infield. Nice play there by Jess Morenz for the out. Out number 1, Rebecca Randall will bat now. Number 9 hitter in the lineup. 1 up, 1 down for Aurora here in the bottom half of the third. And offering and no contact, and that's a strike on Randall. Top of the order, Stephanie Lynch waits on deck. Randall, a junior from Yorkville, Illinois. There's a foul back to the screen, 0-2 the count. Mount Union has had the better scoring opportunities, but they have yet to cash in here. We're in the bottom half of the third, no score. Just 1 base runner so far for Aurora. That one missed for a ball, 1-2 the count. No score, bottom half of the third here in Angola, Indiana. The next pitch. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. Weatherman's calling for showers, maybe some thunderstorms tomorrow. Cooler conditions, temperatures in the 60s. 2-2. There's a foul ball, and it's not playable. Count stays at 2-2. Randall fell behind 0-2, has worked the count back up to 2-2. Just run base runner for the Spartans. Wilcox got a walk in the first inning. Makinich set down 6 in a row, and off of Makinich, the shortstop throw, not in time. That's going to be an interesting call there. I don't know if that's going to be a hit or error according to the official scorekeeper. We have no way of knowing back out here in center field. But whatever, Randall is aboard. I'm going to call that an error. That should have been played. Of course, I'm not the official scorer. Stephanie Lynch bats now. She grounded to second her first time up. So that ends the streak for Makinich of 6 straight retired batters. First pitch a ball, 1-0 the count. Spartans have a base runner. Runner on first with 1 out here in the bottom half of the third. No score. 2 more games to follow this one here on opening day of this regional tournament. A ball inside, 2-0 the count. And how do the Spartans want to play it now with a 2-0 count on Stephanie Lynch? Runner on first with 1 out. Makinich deals. There's a foul. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Winner plays at 2 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow against the Anderson Ravens, the number 8 seed in this tournament. Anderson stunning trying in the opening game, 5-1. There's a little blooper down the left field line. It's going to drop in. No! Foul ball, they say. Whoa! Lynch tried to drop a duck snort in there and was almost successful. It just went foul. That close to being maybe a couple of runners in scoring position for Aurora. Makinich deals it. Here's a ground ball to short. They may get 2 on this. Nope, just the force at second. Lynch hits into a fielder's choice. Randall is retired, 6-4 on that put out. Shortstop Van Sickle to the second baseman Carmichael covering. So 2 outs. Lynch, the runner on first, and Tristan Wilcox will bat. She walked her first time up. First pitch from Makinich. And a high pop fly, third base side, drifting out of play. Strike one. One strike on Wilcox. Mia Henderson waits on deck. Runner on first with 2 outs. And now Wilcox steps out of the box. A somewhat warm day here in Angola. What a change from all the April cold and wet weather we had. There's a ball. If you're listening to me or watching the game anywhere in the Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. It's been a cold, wet spring on many portions of the Midwest. Wilcox waits. Strike is called. Throw to first. Safe. At first is Lynch. No score. Bottom half of the third here in Angola. Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Aurora Spartans in this opening round regional contest in NCAA Division III women's softball. Here's a high fly ball towards the line and left, twisting in the foul territory and racing over to make the catch in foul territory is Andy Van Sickle for the final out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, an error. Well, they're going to call that a hit then. All right. Public address announcer making the announcement that it was a hit, so we'll go with that. Again, our score sheet very unofficial. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for Aurora in the bottom half of the Jim Measle with the play-by-play here this afternoon. Our producer and cameraman, Trent Lewis, is above me here in the bucket. And Trent's getting on job training how to operate that bucket, let me tell you that right now. So far, so good. He's doing well. It's amazing seeing Trent move around and getting around all this equipment. You know, he's a lot younger than I am. You know, I used to have a flat belly like Trent. Oh, those were the days. Oh, it's nice to be 25 again. All right, we move to the top of the 4th inning. Van Sickle, Carmichael, and Jessel due up for Mount Union here. No score in this game. Vanessa Hartzell has gotten out of a couple of jams in this contest. The stickiest one in the second with the bases loaded for Mount Union and 1 out. They couldn't score. Andy Van Sickle fouls it off, strike 1. Andy sacrificed her first time up, moving Mayo in the scoring position. She's the leadoff hitter here in the 4th. That one's a ball. I believe the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Mount Union and Aurora, a scoreless tie as we play the top of the 4th inning here in Angola. 2-2 pitch on its way. A high pop foul behind the backstop and out of play. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Andy Van Sickle. Van Sickle waits. Here's the pitch by Hartzell. Missed outside. 3-2 the count. Sandy Douglas, the head coach for Mount Union, Sandy's 27th season. And Van Sickle spoiled a good pitch there. Stays alive. Andy hit .301 this season. 11 RBIs and a homer. No score here in the top of the fourth inning. Aurora's had, or rather Mount Union's had their chances, but have not been able to score. And a long look in for Hartzell. Now she brings it. And another spoiled pitch by Van Sickle. So we got quite a battle going on here. Van Sickle trying to get on base to lead off the Mount Union fourth. Partly sunny skies right now here in Angola. Nice breeze blowing. Feels like the humidity has gone down a little bit. Here's a swing and a drive to left field, and it's going to drop in. Down the line it goes. Extra bases. That's two. That's going to be a trouble for Van Sickle. They're going to wave her home. She's going for the inside the Parker, and she got it. An inside the park home run for Andy Van Sickle. Humner dove after it towards the line. It got by her, and it rolled into the corner, and Van Sickle just kept on running. An inside the park home run, and the Purple Raiders have the lead 1-0. Shelby Carmichael will bat now. Well, you don't see that very often in women's softball because of the tight confines of the playing field. Usually it's only about 200, maybe 210 feet to the outfield fence. But Van Sickle saw the ball dribbled down into the corner, and she kept on motoring. Strike one to Carmichael, who singled her first time up. So Mount Union, the first one to get the goose egg off the scoreboard. They're up 1-0. Swing and a miss. And Carmichael in the hole. 0-2 the count. So a home run for Andy Van Sickle. That's her second home run of the season. That's high for a ball. 1-2 the count. Well, that kind of turned things around a little bit here. 1-0 Mount Union, top of the fourth. Spoiled a good pitch. Still 2 strikes on Carmichael. Rachel Jessel waits on deck. Nobody on base, nobody out. A run in for Mount Union here in the top of the fourth. That's high for a ball. Carmichael back in the box. Left-hand batter waits. Hartzell deals. Called strike 3. Hartzell punches out Carmichael for the first out of the inning. Fourth strikeout for Vanessa Hartzell. 1 out, nobody on base, and Jessel bats now. Rachel was hit by the pitcher first time up. 1 out, nobody on. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1 to Jessel. Rachel, a .283 hitter this year, 12 RBIs and a home run. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Foul on the third base side. 1 out, nobody on. Here in the top of the fourth inning, Mount Union leading 1-0 over Aurora. 5 seed against the 4 seed. Hartzell deals. And a chopper foul for strike 2. Marissa Earle waits on deck. Andy Van Sickle with a leadoff inside the park home run here in the top of the fourth inning. And Mount Union has grabbed a 1-0 lead. That's high for a ball. One out, nobody on base here in the top of the fourth inning. Foul, look out over there. Well, they're awake over there on the third base side now. That's why you always got to watch the game. That ball can get on you in a hurry. Jessel guarding the plate with 2 strikes on her. There's a ball. Counts full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And another foul out of play. And Jessel making Hartzell work in this warm Indiana afternoon. They're making Hartzell throw a lot of pitches here in this 4th inning. There's a drive, deep left field, well tagged, and Hubner goes back and makes the catch right in front of the warning track in left field. Jessel hit it hard, but Hubner tracked it down for out number 2. Marissa Earl bats now. Earl popped to short her first time up. That was a big out in the 2nd inning when Mount Union had the bases loaded with 1 out but couldn't score. There's the ball, 1-0. Earl popped to short, and then Grom struck out to end the inning. But Mount Union has a run now, and they're up 1-0 here in the top of the 4th. There's a strike call, grab the inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 run on 3 hits for Mount Union. No runs on 1 hit so far for Aurora. Ground ball, foul down the third base line. Earl, the number 9 hitter in the Mount Union lineup. Again, the winner plays Anderson tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Loser has to come back at 10 in the morning and play Trine. Ground ball by the pitcher in the center field. That's a base hit. Earl with a single. A 2-out single for Marissa Earl. 2nd hit in the inning for Mount Union. 4th hit in the game for the Purple Raiders. And Kristen Groves, top of the order, comes up, and she's 0 for 2 in this game. Has a fly to center and struck out. Runner on first, 2 outs now for the Purple Raiders. They're leading 1-0 in the top of the 4th. Ground ball on the right side, second baseman Fields, and the throw is dropped. Safe at first, out at third. Earl thrown out at third base to end the inning. So the Mount Union folks, you might hear them over there on the first base side. I don't think they agree with the call, and Earl is slow to get up. She's still down there at third base. Now she is up and walks off. So quite a way to end that 4th inning. Gromes is safe on the error, and then Earl is thrown out at third base to end the frame. So out of all that, 1 run for Mount Union, 2 hits, 1 runner left. We move to the bottom half of the 4th inning here in Angola, Indiana, in this NCAA Division III Women's Softball Regional First Round game. And the Mount Union Raiders now lead the Aurora Spartans 1-0. And due up for the Spartans in the bottom half of the 4th, the middle part of their order, Henderson, Spencer, and Stone. 3, 4, and 5 hitters. The difference in the game right now, an inside the park home run by Andy Van Sickle. She drove it down the left field line. Left fielder Lauren Hubner for Aurora made a diving attempt, but she missed it, and the ball bounced away for her, rolled into the corner, and Van Sickle kept right on running all the way home. All right, here we go, bottom half of the 4th. Mia Henderson steps in for Aurora. She struck out swinging her first time up. Rachel McInish now pitching with the lead. One nothing Mount Union, last half of the 4th. First pitch is outside for a ball to Henderson. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Henderson from Norridge, Illinois, a senior. They set up outside, pop on the infield, and it's caught by the pitcher, Makinich, for out number 1. So they made Henderson go after an outside pitch, and she popped out to the pitcher. 1 up and 1 down. Brooke Spencer bats now. She fouled to the first baseman her first time up. 0 for 1. Mount Union on top, 1-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th, and the first pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 Mount Union over Aurora here in the bottom half of the 4th inning in Angola. Bright sunshine now. Here's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Makinich has looked sharp here in the first 3 1/3 innings of work. There's another strike, and she gets ahead of another hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. She's allowed just 1 hit so far. Has 1 strikeout, so she's making her defense do the job today. Called strike 3, and with that, Makinich gets a strikeout. That's only her 2nd K of the afternoon. 2 outs now. Nobody on base. Lily Stone, who fly to left her first time up, steps up. Makinich rolling. First pitch is low for ball 1. Mount Union 1, Aurora 0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 2 outs for the Spartans and nobody on base. Called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rachel has allowed just 1 hit in 3 2/3. Here's a foul out of play, first base side. They're just not getting around in her fastball. Makinich looking for a 1-2-3 inning, trying to get her team back into the dugout here out of this sun. There's a drive. It's going to drop in for a base hit. And the ball gets away from the right fielder, but no further advance by Stone. So Stone drops a single in the right field. Hit number 2 for the Spartans. Sarah Clauser bats now. Sarah fly to left her first time up. 2 outs, a runner on first for Aurora. It's only their 3rd base runner in this game. Purple Raiders leading the Spartans 1-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Here's a strike. Again, Makinich getting ahead of the hitter. She's done that throughout most of the game. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. And Makinich way out in front of Clauser now. 0-2. Clauser has to guard the dish with 2 strikes on her. Set up outside and it just missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mount Union Purple Raiders from Alliance, Ohio. Aurora Spartans from Aurora, Illinois. Here's the 1-2. That's low for a ball. 2-2 the count. 2 more games to follow. The next game has John Carroll, the 3 seed, against Allegheny, the 6 seed. 2-2. Foul on the 3rd base side. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The last game of the day has the 2 seed Capital against the 7th seed Thomas More. 1 game in the books, and it was a stunner. The number 8 seed Anderson Ravens knocking off the top seed Trying Thunder 5-1. And a pop-up should be squeezable. Makinich will take it herself for out number 3. So a couple of pop-outs there in that inning. Aurora gets 1 hit, no runs, 1 runner left. We have played 4 innings in Angola. And the score remains the Purple Raiders of Mount Union 1 and the Aurora Spartans 0. And due up for Mount Union in the top of the 5th, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Merez, Papp, and Sitlak. The difference in this game, an inside the park home run by Andy Van Sickle to lead off the top of the fourth inning for Mount Union. Mount Union had a couple of other chances to score early on. They had a runner on second with 2 outs in the first inning, couldn't score, had a major threat in the second, loaded the bases with 1 out, but Vanessa Hartzell got out of that jam with a pop out and a strikeout. Another pause for water here as we move to the top of the fifth, so hang in there, folks. Trine University hosting this tournament. Second straight year they've hosted a major NCAA Division III sporting event. Last year, on the golf course right behind us here, they hosted the NCAA Division III Women's Golf National Championship. Just Mraz will lead things off. 1 for 2 in this game with a single in the first inning. And strike 1 from Vanessa Hartzell. Hartzell's allowed 4 hits and 4 innings of work so far. She has struck out 4. I sense a pattern here. Here's the 0-1. That's low, and they say she went. She offered, they say, so now Moranz is in the hole. 0-2. 0-2 on the leadoff hitter for the Purple Raiders. That's a ball, 1-2 the count. Bright sunshine now here in Angola, Indiana. Temperature well into the 70s. The 1-2. Called strike 3. Hartzell with the punch out to start off the fifth inning. Strikeout number 5 for Vanessa Hartzell. 1 out. Brittany Papp bats now. Boy, a beautiful, beautiful day here in Angola. Sunshine, 70s. Man, it's been like this all spring. Really. Really it has. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, ticket. There's a foul going out of play on the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Man, I tell you what, if you like rain, you would have loved April here in northeast Indiana. Angola had over 8 inches of rain. I don't have to tell you how much rain you've probably gotten where you're watching this game if you're with us in Illinois in the Aurora area. I know you folks got a lot of rain. Everybody did in the Midwest. But it's been dry here in the month of May thus far. That's allowed the rivers and streams to go down. They were up at flood level about a week or so back. That's high for a ball. 1 out, top of the fifth inning. 1-0, Mount Union in the lead. Andy Van Sickle's inside the park home run, the difference in this ball game. Papp waits. And that's going out of play on the first base side. Brittany, a .267 hitter this season. Now the pitch. A high pop-up, short right field. It's going to drop in for a hit. Brittany Papp has hit number 5 for the Purple Raiders. She's on first with 1 out. Sidlak bats now. Lee Sidlak, the cleanup hitter, has struck out and has been hit by the pitch. And we're going to have maybe a change here. We're going to get a pinch runner for Papp. Since she's the catcher, I would assume this is a courtesy runner. Tara Spencer now running at first base for Mount Union. So one would assume Papp will re-enter. She's the catcher. So Spencer, your courtesy runner on first with 1 out. Top of the fifth inning, Mount Union leading Aurora 1-0. Here's a foul out of play. 0-1 the count. One strike on Sitlak. One out, runner on first. That's high for a ball. One ball, one strike. Lee Sitlak, sophomore from Westerville, Ohio, went to Westerville South High School. One out, a runner on first. 1-0 Mount Union here in the top of the fifth. Hartzell deals. Runner goes. It's a ball. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Spencer. So now she's in scoring position. That's a big run at second base. Mount Union already on top 1-0. Looking to get some insurance now. They have a runner in scoring position in the courtesy runner, Tara Spencer. One out. 2-1 count on Sitlak. So again, Mount Union with a runner in scoring position. Third time this has happened in this game. There is a pitch inside. They had a runner on second with 2 outs in the first, couldn't score. Loaded the bases with 1 out in the second, couldn't score. Their only run came on a leadoff inside the park home run by Andy Van Sickle in the top of the fourth inning. Now can they cash in with a runner in scoring position? Hartzell has to get out of this fifth inning jam. That's a foul. Look out over there. They're awake now on the first base side. Spencer, the courtesy runner on second base with 1 out. Sitlak waits. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So another strikeout for Hartzell. Now 2 outs and a runner on second. Alex Mayo bats. She has walked and grounded to third. 0 for 1 in this game. That's strikeout number 6 for Hartzell. First pitch is inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Mount Union Purple Raiders, of course, their football program has been extremely successful in recent years. One of the top Division III programs in the country. All they do is win championships. That's low for a ball. And we'll have a conference in the circle here as Vanessa Hartzell and catcher Tristan Wilcox will talk things over. Mount Union 1, Aurora 0 here in the top of the fifth inning. Bright sunshine now in Angola. Some folks behind us in the parking lot doing a little tailgating right now. It's a beautiful day to tailgate. All right, set to go now. Mayo waits. Hartzell with a runner on second and 2 outs. Deals a strike. One nothing Mount Union here in the top of the fifth. They're trying to get an insurance run home. Spencer, the courtesy runner, ground ball to third. Backhanded by the shortstop now, and everybody's going to be safe. A ground ball in the hole. It got by the third baseman, Klauser. Shortstop Spencer backhanded it, but had no play and wisely hung on to the ball. So Mayo is on base for the second time in this game. 2 hits in the inning for Mount Union, and Andy Van Sickle with her inside the park home run being the difference in the game is up there. Throw to third, look out! Spencer back standing up. A snap throw by Wilcox, the catcher, and it almost caught Spencer napping down there at third base. Van Sickle has sacrificed and homered. 1-0 Mount Union, top of the fifth. Trying to get on a big insurance run home. Spencer, the courtesy runner on third. Ground ball back to the pitcher. And Mount Union's going to be turned away again with runners in scoring position. Van Sickle grounds out to the pitcher to end the inning. No runs for Mount Union in the top of the fifth. 2 hits. And 2 runners left. And they have now stranded a grand total of, 4, 5, 6. They have now stranded 8 runners. But Mount Union still leads 1-0 as we move to the bottom half of the fifth inning here in Angola, Indiana. And it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Aurora Spartans here in the bottom half of the fifth. So Mount Union has the lead 1-0, but it could be larger if they've been able to get a couple of key hits. But through 4.5 innings, the Purple Raiders have stranded 8 base runners, including how many in scoring position? 3 and 5. They've left 5 in scoring position. That could come back and hurt them, but we'll have to wait and see. Rachel McInich, well, she's got a 1-0 lead, and maybe the Purple Raiders are saying, okay, Rachel, there's your run. Hold them. But I would imagine for the Purple Raiders and their supporters, they'd be breathing a little bit easier right now if they've managed to get another run or two and really put the Purple Raiders in the driver's seat. Well, Aurora, with 37 wins on the season, looking to get the offense going, and the first pitch is in for a strike. McInich again getting ahead of the hitter. I don't think she's been behind very many hitters in this game. Ground ball on the left side. That's going to be into left field for a base hit. Nice attempt there by the shortstop for Mount Union, Van Sickle, but she just barely got a glove on it, so that's a single. And Lauren Hubner bats now with a runner on first. And we're going to get looks like a courtesy runner now at first base. Jessica Spoon will be the runner at first base for the Spartans. Alana Weitzenfeld with a leadoff single. Spoon now running for her at first base. Low for a ball. And let's see if Hubner tries to lay one down here. She fly to right her first time up. Spoon represents the tying run at first base with nobody out. And a ball 2. So for one of the few times today, McInich behind the hitter. 2 balls and no strikes. Now what do you want to do with a 2-0 count if you're Aurora? A bunt. They may try for second. They do, and they get the force out at second. Spoon is called out at second. Hold on now. We're going to get a conference. So let's hold on. I have no idea what they may be talking about here. Spoon called out at second base. And they'll talk it over, and now they say she's safe.
She dropped the ball, Jim.
She dropped the ball. Thank you, Trent. So the ball popped loose, and that's going to be an error. Give Hubner a sacrifice, and that's an error. So now the Spartans are in business. First and second and nobody out. Randall will be the batter. Rebecca Randall. Let's see if she's bunting. It's taken for a ball. 1-0 the count. And that Spartan dugout making a lot of noise over there on the third base side. You can probably hear them. 1-0 Mount Union, bottom half of the fifth, but a big threat here for Aurora. There's a bunt in front of the plate. One play, first base, out there. Runners advance. Second and third, 1 out now, and the Spartans have a big chance to take the lead as the top part of the order is coming up. Here's Stephanie Lynch. She is grounded to second and reach on a fielder's choice. Tying run on third. Go ahead run on second. 1 out here in the bottom half of the fifth. Best chance for Aurora to score here so far today. First pitch is in for a strike. It all started with a leadoff single. Sacrifice, error, another sacrifice. Second and third now for the Spartans, and 1 out. Lynch waits. She bunts. This will get the run home. One play, first base, and nobody is there. That's going to be a single for Lynch and an RBI, and we're tied 1-1. So Lynch laying down a beautiful bunt to get the run home. And Wilcox bats now, and the Spartans are not done yet. A run is home. Runners on the corners for Aurora. And you can feel the momentum changing here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Wilcox has walked, popped to short. She's 0 for 1. Hubner, the runner, on third. Lynch is on first. That bunt single by Lynch, just the third hit of the game for the Spartans. And they got a big chance to take the lead. First and third, 1 out. Wilcox, a chance to give her team the lead. First and third, 1 out. Now we're set to go. Makinich trying to get out of this inning without any further damage being inflicted on the Purple Raiders. That's the ball, 1-0. Mia Henderson waits on deck. We're getting to the heart of the lineup here for the Spartans. Line shot to the third baseman. Out. Out is Wilcox. She smoked it, but right to the third baseman, Jessel, for the out. And Hubner had to be alert there. She didn't break for the plate. She scrambled back to the bag to avoid being doubled off. Now first and third and 1 out. Or 2 outs, rather. Henderson fouls it away, strike 1. Henderson has struck out and popped to the pitcher, 0 for 2. Wilcox hit that ball hard, but right to the third baseman for the second out. 2 outs, runners on the corners. 1-1 tie, bottom half of the fifth inning. Here's the pitch. A ball. And going down the second base without a play is Lynch. So now second and third for Aurora and 2 outs. That takes away the force at second, obviously. 1 ball, 1 strike on Henderson, who can deliver a big hit right now. And fouls it back for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Makinich and the Purple Raiders are 1 strike away from getting out of a sticky fifth inning. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and runners on second and third. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Makinich, after surrendering a run, bears down and gets out of any further damage being inflicted on Mount Union. But the Spartans of Aurora are on the board. They get a run on 2 hits. And they strand 2 in scoring position. Both pitchers, Vanessa Hartzell and Rachel Makinich, have gotten out of some tough spots in this game. We have played 5 innings here in Angola, Indiana. We're tied now. The Mount Union Purple Raiders 1 and the Aurora Spartans 1. As we move to the top of the 6th inning, due up for Mount Union, the bottom part of their order, Carmichael, Jessel, and Earl, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're logged into. Opening day of this Division III Women's Softball Regional Tournament. We've already had a stunning upset. Anderson, the number 8 seed, knocking off the top-seeded Trine University Thunder 5-1. So the host school will have to come back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock and play the loser of this game. The winner will play Anderson at 2 o'clock. So right now we're playing for some extra sleep. The loser has to come back and play at 10 in the morning. The winner can sleep in a few extra hours and come back and play at 2 tomorrow. So here we go. Shelby Carmichael leads it off for Mount Union here in the top of the 6th, and that ball is going out of play on the third base side, strike 1. Carmichael has singled the center and has struck out looking, 1 for 2 in this game. 6 hits for Mount Union, 4 for Aurora. We're tied 1-1 in the top of the 6th. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Again, Mount Union, as we mentioned last inning, has stranded 8 base runners in this game, 5 in scoring position. That could come back to haunt them. We'll see. Carmichael takes the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rachel Jessel, Marissa Earl to follow here in the top of the 6th for the Purple Raiders of Mount Union from Alliance, Ohio. There's a swing and a drive to left center field. It's going to get down for a hit. A leadoff single for Carmichael, her second hit of the game. 7 hits now for the Purple Raiders. So Carmichael, the leadoff hitter, dropping a single into left center field. Jessel bats now. She's been hit by a pitch and fly to left. 0 for 1, and she'll probably be bunting. She will be, and it's going to be a foul ball, strike 1. Trying to get Carmichael into scoring position here with less than 2 outs. Boy, the bottom part of the order has done a nice job for Mount Union in this game. Carmichael's got 2 hits. Jessel's been hit by a pitch. Earl has a single. So 7, 8, and 9 hitters have done their job. There's a nice bunt. No play at second. Out at first. And Jessel did her job. The sacrifice is successful. Carmichael, the go-ahead run, now in scoring position with 1 out. Carmichael on second. Marissa Earl, single to center her last time up. Popped to short in the second. She's 1 for 2. Carmichael on second, 1 out. Top of the 6th, game tied 1-1. Foul ball, strike 1. That got the umpire. Ouch. But he is tough. He's an umpire. He's back behind the plate. 1 strike on Earl. Top of the order, Kristen Gromes waits on deck. 1-1 tie, top of the 6th. There's a ball, 1 strike. Number 5 seed, Purple Raiders of Mount Union. Number 4 seed, Aurora Spartans. You figure a 4-5 matchup would be pretty even, and that's the case right now. Tied 1-1 in the 6th. Pop up behind the plate and caught by the catcher, Wilcox, for the out. 2 away. Carmichael still on second. Top of the order now. Here's Kristen Gromes. Her 4th trip to the dish today. She has flied to center, struck out swinging, reached on an error. So she's 0 for 3 officially. She has a chance to put her team in the lead, and it's a ball outside. Is Mount Union going to get turned away again with a runner in scoring position? They've had more than their fair share of opportunities here today. Tied 1-1 in the top of the 6th. There's ball 2. 2-0 the count. Gromes trying to deliver the big hit here. In the top of the 6th inning, Carmichael the runner on second with 2 outs. The 2-0 from Hartzell. Strike called. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looking ahead to the Aurora bottom half of the 6th, they'll have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up. Spencer, Stone, and Klauser. 2-1 on Gromes. Ball 3, throw to second and in the center field, but it's backed up by the center fielder, Henderson. Well, that kind of turned into an adventure, but there's no advance by Carmichael. 3 balls and 1 strike. On Gromes. Will she be taking here? 3-1. Walked her, ball 4. Gromes gets a walk. Now first and second, they had first base open, so they pitched around Gromes, and Merez will bat now. Merez has singled, struck out twice. She's 1 for 3. Jeffs with a chance now to give Mount Union the lead. First and second, 2 outs. It's outside for a ball. Merez gets ahead 1-0. Jeffs, the number 2 hitter in this Mount Union lineup. We're tied 1-1, top of the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes. Hartzell taking her time. Delivers. That's out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jess Merez, freshman, in a tough spot here. Moran's from Westlake, Ohio, went to Westlake High School. 1 ball, 1 strike. Can the freshman come through? The pitch. And she may have helped out the pitcher there. Looked like it was outside, but she offered. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hartzell now a strike away from getting out of another tight spot. She seems like she's been getting out of jams all game. That's high. 2-2. First and second for the Purple Raiders and 2 outs. 1-1 tie, top of the 6th. And Mraz spoiled that one. Off it goes on the third base side. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and 2 runners on base. 1-1 tie, top of the 6th. Hartzell back into the circle. Here comes another 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. We'll have a payoff pitch coming up here now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Obviously a huge pitch in this 1-1 tie in the top of the 6th inning. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Hartzell gets out of another jam. So Mount Union with another threat. They are turned away again. They strand 2 more runners. They have stranded 10 in this game. 6 of them in scoring position. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here in Angola. It's the Mount Union Purple Raiders 1 and the Aurora Spartans 1. So Vanessa Hartzell for Aurora getting a big strikeout to end that threat. Once again, the winner plays at 2 o'clock tomorrow against the Anderson Ravens. The loser has to come back tomorrow morning at 10 and play Trine. And you think the number 1 seeded Thunder, the number 2 team of the country, will come out with a little red in their eyes tomorrow morning at 10? I don't think they're going to be a very happy bunch. Hartzell getting a big strikeout there. She's back in the Hoosier State. She hails from Highland, Indiana, went to Bishop Noel High School. Brooke Spencer, Lily Stone, Sarah Klauser due up for Aurora in the bottom half of the 6th, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. 1-1 tie here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2 more games after this on this opening day of the tournament. Weather's been beautiful so far today. As we hit 2 o'clock here in Angola, Indiana on this Thursday afternoon. Here's Spencer to lead things off. Brooke Spencer, senior from Orland Park, Illinois. First pitch is a ball from Rachel McInich, working her 6th inning. She has allowed a run on 4 hits so far through 5 innings of work. A high pop fly. The first baseman drifting back now and makes the catch for out number 1 as Alex Mayo squeezed it for the first out. Spencer pops out to open up the 6th inning for Aurora. Lily Stone bats now. She singled to right her last time up. Fly to left in the 2nd. So Stone is 1 for 2 in this game. She's from Moline, Illinois, a junior, and a high pop-up on the infield. Who wants it? Third baseman says, I want it. And it's squeezed by Jessel for out number 2. So 2 pop-ups and 2 outs in the bottom half of the 6th for Aurora. Nothing working for the Spartans so far. Sarah Klauser bats now. The junior from Gurnee, Illinois, went to Warren Township High School. 2 outs and nobody on base for Aurora. McInich looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Get her team into the dugout. There's a strike. Get her team out of the sun and back into the shade of that first base dugout on this warm afternoon. There's a foul out of play, and McInich, after a some struggles in the fifth inning. Back in control here in the bottom half of the sixth. She has set down the first two hitters and now is ahead of Klauser. 2 outs, nobody on base here in the bottom half of the sixth. Pop-up foul behind the plate. Klauser stays alive. Game tied 1-1 here in the bottom half of the sixth inning in Angola. Makinich trying to end the sixth, throws it outside for a ball. What a warm afternoon. I was debating whether to wear the long pants or the shorts, and I'm wearing the long pants, and I think I should have gone for the shorts. Here's a drive, foul, out of play on the third base side, into the hitting cage it goes. Bright sunshine now here in Angola, Indiana. And those umbrellas, which were used earlier this spring for the rain, now being used as shade. There's a drive. Deep left field. This one is well tagged. It's all the way to the fence. That's extra bases, and that's a double. A double for Klauser. And that is the first extra base hit of the game for the Spartans. Klauser with a 2-out double. Weitzenfeld bats now with 2 outs and a runner on second. Alana singled, and the pinch runner for her later scored last inning. Pitch is low for a ball, 1-0 the count. So the go-ahead run now on second with 2 outs for the Spartans of Aurora. 1-1 tie, bottom half of the sixth. Strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. How things can change in a flash, huh? Makinich cruising along, looked like it was going to be a 1-2-3 inning, and then Klauser delivered a double to left center. Called strike 2. Now Weitzenfeld has to guard the plate with 2 strikes on her. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that ends the threat. That ends the inning. Makinich striking out Weitzenfeld with a runner in scoring position. So now Aurora having trouble getting runners home in scoring position. They have left 3 in scoring position here in the last couple of innings. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And we are tied after 6 here in Angola, Indiana. Mount Union Purple Raiders 1 and the Aurora Spartans 1. Middle part of the order due up for Mount Union here in the top of the 7th. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Pap, followed by Sideluck and Mayo. If you're watching this game right now, if you're watching the stream, don't forget there's other places on the site you can go to get up-to-date information. You got live in-game stats. Also, you can get statistics on this tournament. Just click on the link there. A very easy site to get around. Hope you take advantage of it. Top of the 7th coming up, tied 1-1. Raiders and Spartans. Again, it was a 4-5 matchup. You figure it's going to be a close game, and it's been a very entertaining game. And Brittany Papp leads things off for Mount Union. Junior from Uniontown, Ohio. First pitch at swinging, pops it up, foul behind the plate. And there's out number 1 as Wilcox made the catch. 1 away in the Mount Union 7th. Lee Sitlak bats now. Sitlak has struck out twice, has been hit by a pitch. 0 for 2 in this game. Mount Union took the lead in the 4th inning on an inside-the-park home run, leading off the inning by Andy Van Sickle. Aurora tied it in the bottom half of the 5th on an RBI single by Stephanie Lynch. That's where we stand right now. Game tied 1-1, top of the 7th. Line shot, and that's a fair ball. Base hit. Sidlak with a one-out single. Her first hit of this game. And hit number 8 for the Purple Raiders. They have had a base runner, at least one, in every inning. But only one run to show for it, and that was on an inside-the-park home run. Alex Mayo bats now with a runner on first and one out. Pitches a strike, 0-1 the count on Mayo, who has walked, grounded to third, and singled. 1 for 2 in this game for Mayo. 1-1 tie, top of the 7th. Hartzell brings it. And that's going to be a foul of the plate as it hit Mayo in the batter's box. Freshman Vanessa Hartzell in the circle in this game for Aurora. She and her pitching counterpart, Rachel McInich for Mount Union, have both gone the distance. That one's high. Winner plays at 2 o'clock tomorrow against Anderson. The loser has to play at 10 tomorrow morning against the top-seeded team in this regional. Trine, ground ball, wide of third, out at second. That's all they're going to get. They get the force at second. 5-4 on the putout. Now the ball gets away, and moving down the second base is Mayo. Well, that's an interesting development, to say the least. As the train goes behind us here. Mayo is on second, 2 outs. Andy Van Sickle, who has accounted for the only run in this game for Mount Union with an inside-the-park home run, steps up with a chance to put her team back into the lead. Ball 1 is inside. Mayo, the runner, on second. 2 outs. Van Sickle's 1 for 2 in this game with that home run. Ground ball, foul on the third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. So again, Mount Union with a runner in scoring position. They have stranded 10 runners in this game, 6 of them in scoring position. They would be in great shape if they've just managed to get a couple of big hits with runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss for a strike. And now Van Sickle is behind, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2, 2 outs and a runner on second. Here it comes. Did it hit her? It did. And Van Sickle is awarded first base, as she was hit by the pitch. Third time today a Purple Raider player has been hit by the pitch. First and second, 2 outs now for Shelby Carmichael. And a pop foul, third base side, drifting out of play into the batter's cage. 1 strike on Carmichael. She singled her last time up. In fact, she has 2 singles in this game, 2 for 3. So she has been a tough out. A chance to deliver maybe a game-winning hit here for Mount Union. Foul at the plate, 0-2. Mount Union 1, Aurora 1, top of the 7th. Looking ahead to the Spartans' 7th inning, they'll have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. Carmichael waits. Here it comes. Tapper back to the pitcher. They'll get out of the inning, and that's it. Mount Union once again is turned away as Carmichael taps back to the pitcher, Hartzell, for the final out. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 runners left for Mount Union. We've moved to the bottom half of the 7th in this NCAA Division III women's softball first-round game here in the Angola Regionals. Mount Union Purple Raiders 1. Aurora Spartans 1. So again, Mount Union turned away, and they have now stranded a grand total of, let's count them up here, 8, 10. They have stranded 12 base runners in this game. And let's see, of those 12, 4, 5, I got 6 of them in scoring position. So 12 base runners have been stranded by Mount Union in this game. Talk about a dirty dozen. It'll be Hubner, Randall, and Lynch two up for Aurora here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Aurora 37-6 entering this game. Mount Union at 25-11. And all Aurora needs is 1 run. We get to a tie game here in the 7th inning. Big edge for the home team. They can play for 1 now. First pitch is a ball. Rachel Makinich has gone the distance in the circle for Mount Union. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. Train has finally departed here. Strike called. That was a pretty long train there. Lasted about a half inning. 2 balls and 1 strike on the leadoff hitter, Lauren Hubner. Back to the mound and bobbled, and everybody's going to be safe. Hubner's aboard. As the pitcher, Makinich, could not make the play. That was a tough play there for the pitcher, Makinich. It'll be interesting to see how they score it, but whatever. Hubner now the winning run on first base. And Rebecca Randall bats now. Randall looked to bunt and took it for a ball. Randall sacrificed her last time up. She's 0 for 1 in this game. So now Aurora with a chance to win it. They have their leadoff batter on base. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of the order is on deck. That's low. Aurora tied the game in the bottom half of the 5th inning on an RBI single by Stephanie Lynch, and Lynch is in the on-deck circle. A bunt in front of the plate. 1 play, first base, out there. Runner advances to second. The sacrifice is successful for Randall. And now the winning run is on second, and 2 chances for Aurora to win this game. Stephanie Lynch, who has driven in the only run of this game for the Spartans, is up there now, and first base is open. Will Mount Union put her on base intentionally? Runner on second with 1 out. They will pitch to her. And Lynch fouls it back, strike 1. Lauren Hubner on first base, or rather on second base, 1 out. Game tied 1-1, bottom half of the 7th. A base hit will give Aurora their 38th victory of the season. Foul back to the screen. And Lynch falls behind 0-2. Tristan Wilcox waits on deck. So a couple of good hitters up here now for Aurora. Makinich trying to get out of the 7th inning jam and get this game into extra frames. Here it comes. High for a ball. Just high, they say. Oh, boy. Lynch had a good eye to let that one go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on second for Aurora as they look to win the game. 1-1 tie, last of the 7th. Ground ball in the center field. Base hit. Here comes the winning run, and the Spartans win it. Stephanie Lynch delivers the game-winning single. And Aurora is moving on in this Regional Division III softball tournament. Stephanie Lynch with an RBI single in the bottom half of the 7th inning wins it. Your final score, the Aurora Spartans 2 and the Mount Union Purple Raiders 1. And now from Angola, Indiana, for my producer and cameraman Trent Lewis, I'm Jim Measles saying have a good afternoon, everybody.
Game? Yeah. Some of them are broken up right now in different clips.
I'm sorry. So we'll be able to get to it like tomorrow if you want to see the replay?
Some of them are broken up right now, but actually as soon as I stop it, they'll be already up.
Oh yeah, no, I'm interested in the next team anyway. I
Right.
ask you for the game though, because I take video, but obviously your video is going to be a hell of a lot better than mine.
Right.
Because I'm off on an angle, I got fences, I got trees, I got all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So all the games in this tournament will be archived for
Yes.
some period of time.
Yep.
Will you be able to download them, or is it really just play them?
I think you just play them. I don't think you can download them.
Okay. I found a way to record it. Play it.
Yeah, it's on our Ustream page. Hey Jim, can you, I don't know if you can give me, in my black bag there's a business card.
Oh, okay.
It's like a laptop bag.
Oh, so I can sell it to me?
Well, I can show you where the stream is.
Oh, okay. I've got, here's my daughter's senior. I'm burned out at taking video and then looking at it.
I can't see it, Jim, I'm sorry. I can't see it.
What color's the bag?
It's black. It's like a laptop bag.
Is it long and black or blue?
Just black. Laptop bag. No. It's a laptop, like a briefcase. Maybe. Well, yeah, just come back. I'll bring one.